Due to this, the governor must be conscious to not create roadblocks or chokehold the state legislature in order to thwart and break the will of the people for political edge. The members of the state legislature, having been elected by the people of the state as an outcome of the democratic expression, are better attuned to ensure the well-being of the people of the state. Hence, any action contrary to the express choice of the people.
Absolutely.
Choice of the people, in other words, the state legislature would be a renegade of the constitutional oath. Before we part with the matter, we find it opposite to observe that constitutional authorities occupying high office must be guided by the values of the constitution. Saviour to you. I mean to say, the court can't be more direct than this.
Kartikeya, I completely agree with you. And I personally believe that the governor did overstep his brief. Now, whatever your political inclinations may be, the fact of the matter is when you sit as a governor or a president or a prime minister or a minister in a country, your first responsibility is towards the chair that you occupy. And if there were concerns that were arising out of the bills for whatever reasons known to the governor, because he's answerable for his decisions, there is a process that needs to be adhered to. And I believe that process has not been adhered to. And that is why the Supreme Court has come out rather harshly against the actions of the governor. And that is what we need to understand. And that is why this is a landmark judgment. It is a landmark judgment being very clear that a governor is a constitutional position, and a governor must not forget that, irrespective of his political inclination or political guidance. That is important, because when you sit on that particular chair, you represent the responsibility and the constitutional responsibility that is given to you in the interest of that state, in the interest of the constituents of that state and the legislators of the state. So as a governor, your responsibility is to ensure that the legislator of that state and the other constitutions are upheld. By doing what Mr. Ravi has done, it actually brings a question mark on the role of the governors and at sometimes the political lineage or linkages that they might perceive to have created over a period of time. And that is something that it's not something that needs to work in a democracy. So I think the Supreme Court is absolutely right in its judgment. And whatever be the contours of the case, it has given it based on merit and a clear demarcation of the responsibility of the governor.
Okay, now before I go to my other guest, let me read out another paragraph. The judgment added, the governor as the constitutional head of the state is reposed with the responsibility to accord primacy to the will and welfare of the people of the state, and earnestly work in harmony with the state machinery, as his oath not only makes his mandate anything but clear, rather also demands of it. The governor, owing to the intimate and the delicate nature of the functions that he performs and the potency of the ramification that could ensure or be unleashed upon the state. So before I go to Mr. Muralidharan, let me play out the bite of M.K. Stalin once again.
வரலாற்று சிறப்புமிக்க தீர்ப்பை நமது தமிழ்நாடு அரசு பெற்றுள்ளது. இந்த சட்டமன்ற பேரவையில் நாம் நிறைவேற்றி மாண்புமிகு ஆளுநரின் ஒப்புதலுக்காக அனுப்பி வைத்த பல முக்கிய சட்ட முன்வடிவுகளுக்கு ஒப்புதல் தராமல் திருப்பி அனுப்பினார். அந்த நிலையில் அவற்றை நாம் மீண்டும் இங்கே நிறைவேற்றி அனுப்பி வைத்தோம். இரண்டாவது முறை சட்டமன்ற பேரவை நிறைவேற்றிய சட்ட முன்வடிவுகளுக்கு மாண்புமிகு ஆளுநர் அவர்கள் ஒப்புதல் அளித்தே ஆக வேண்டும் என்று அரசியல் சட்டம் வரையறுத்திருந்த போதிலும் இவற்றுக்கு ஒப்புதல் அளிக்காமல் ஆளுநர் அவர்கள் காலம் தாழ்த்தி வந்ததோடு அதற்கு தனக்கு அதிகாரம் இருப்பதாகவும் தெரிவித்தார். வந்தார். இதனை எதிர்த்து தமிழ்நாடு அரசு மாண்புமை உச்சநீதிமன்றத்தில் வழக்கு தொடுத்ததில் தமிழ்நாடு அரசின் வாதத்தில் இருந்த நியாயத்தை ஏற்று மாண்புமிகு ஆளுநர் அவர்கள் நிறுத்தி வைத்திருந்தது சட்டவிரோதமானது என்றும் அந்த சட்ட முன்வடிவுகளுக்கும் ஆளுநர் அவர்கள் ஒப்புதல் அளிக்கப்பட்டதாக கருதப்பட வேண்டும் என்றும் தெரிவித்து வரலாற்று சிறப்புமிக்க தீர்ப்பினை இன்றைக்கு மாண்புமை உச்சநீதிமன்றம் வழங்கியுள்ளது. இந்த தீர்ப்பு தமிழ்நாட்டுக்கு மட்டுமின்றி இந்தியாவில் உள்ள அனைத்து மாநில அரசுகளுக்கும் கிடைத்த மாபெரும் வெற்றியாகும்.
Okay, Mr. Muralidharan, it's very clear that the judgment is again and again referring to one thing, will of the people. When it's very clearly stated that the will of the people needs to be respected, why did this interference started to peak in last couple of years?
That's what I keep saying, Kartikeya. The BJP doesn't seem to learn. I mean, this is not in one state, right? Most of the states we have this problem. And this gentleman here, the governor, has been erring for quite some time, and he's been holding up. And he knew very well that he's going to get wrapped by the Supreme Court. He should have done something at that time, but he did not. So that shows the arrogance, and that's also going against BJP in terms of, see, BJP is the self-call for BJP today, and it's going